We should give us like 5 seconds, Phil.
Okay, fine. I will sing Home from the amazing musical The Wiz, because that's the first song that popped into my head. I gotta get into character. When I think of home, I think of a place where there's love overflowing. That's it. That's it. That's all I got.
Woo!
Hey everyone, welcome to the Keeping It Real Estate Podcast. We're here today to give you all the most important information you need when you're looking at real estate. I'm Kristen. I am your residential mortgage specialist for the state of Florida. And next, let's introduce Loyal.
Well, hello. This is Loyal Frisbie, your residential realtor here in the Gainesville area with Florida Homes Realty and Mortgage. And now for my boy, Philip the Thrillip Young.
What's up, Loyal? And I am still below Loyal. As always, this is Phil Young coming to you live from my home office once again. In Gainesville, Florida, I work for Schneider & Associates, and I am a personal lines insurance agent. And introducing Crystal.
Hey, I'm Crystal Curran, your licensed title agent servicing the state of Florida. And over to our podcast guru, Alex.
Alex is on mute and Crystal's eating popcorn.
Podcast guru Alex.
Guru is on mute and can't figure out the program here.
He said podcast guru, not Zoom.
Shit.
So hello everyone, Alex from Empower Media. Pleasure to work with you guys every single week and super excited to be continuing on this project. So back to y'all.
Awesome. Hey, Kristen, do you have any headlines of the week that we should know about?
Boy, do I ever. I found one this week that coming to us from the UK. They've got some weird stuff going on over there, guys. I found this article. It says real estate listing claims former owner is buried in house's backyard. So there is a listing that's going on the market now with the previous owner buried where the garden used to be, and his family wants him to stay there. So he was born and raised and lived his entire life in this home, and his final wishes were to be buried in the backyard for the rest of eternity. So comes with quite the baggage if you purchase this home. What do you guys think about that?
Has anyone seen American Horror Story?
Yes.
And the murder house? Not happening.
This is just the start of Poltergeist. Like, I can't even. So my first reaction to this was thinking England. So of course I started thinking about Peter Pan. And then I thought about the family moving from their wonderful home to this house, and Nana, the Newfoundland dog, going in the backyard and just digging up the remains. I like, hey Nana, where'd you get that bone? Oh, it's the former homeowner.
So I had a closing. It's been a couple years. If somebody dies on title, we require a death certificate. It's got to be recorded. You got to prove that person no longer can sell property and you're not stealing it from them. So we always say we don't want to know the cause of death because it brings information to the table that nobody needs, but they never listen. So we always get it. And on this one, he died from being stabbed 10 times. And the place of death was at the house. So at that point, everybody found out that the seller died in the home and he was murdered. So it was very uncomfortable. That buyer was very upset.
Yeah.
It was very interesting. It was first house that also they called somebody to sage the home. So it was an interesting one, but I personally would be a little freaked out.
You don't have to die from being stabbed. That's not murder, Crystal. Maybe you were just stabbed with insult.
Said, not the doctor. I didn't sign it. I just read it.
Yeah, you guys are fascinating. I would totally buy that home, or I'd help sell it to somebody that really cares about gardening. I'd be like, fertilizer's built in. And then that puts the real phrase, pushing up daisies. Like, it would be perfect.
That in the
That's
listing.
how I would market it.
This
Like,
is 100% why you are the real estate agent and not me. To be like, yeah, that guy's dead. If that guy's dead, you're gonna have liability issues coming from that one, and the family might come back if you want to like dig a pool here. You're gonna have to keep the body there.
Hey, Loyal,
I didn't think about that.
with the real estate side, do you have to disclose death in the seller's disclosure? Is that something that comes up?
no.
It changed because they used to, but they don't anymore, right? Like a long time ago, I think it was required, but now isn't it only required if you know and somebody asks you point blank?
It's not in writing anywhere. Not that I've seen.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can
I mean, because people have to die in their homes. There's a home that mutual customers of ours, currently looking, just got under contract. We're going to buy, and it was totally a grandma room at the back, like those doilies for window treatments and that kind of stuff. And
Wait a minute.
then
That's
I
considered
noticed
grandma?
that it was.
Don't look behind me.
I know. And then I was like, I noticed that it was owned by a trust, and I'm like, oh, she totally died here. But they didn't do that one, and it doesn't matter in my opinion, but no, you don't have to disclose.
No, Loyal brought me to a house when I was looking that smelled like you smelled the mothballs from a mile away. Like you're just pulling up to it and you're like, I smell mothballs, also death. So, all right, y'all, let's move on. We got a vocabulary word of the day. What do we got?
We got underwriting. Underwriting, a big word, and I think that word means different things for just about all of us. Shall I start?
Yeah, rock and roll.
So with a mortgage, underwriting is when your file is sent off to, well, believe it or not, the underwriter. We prepare for underwriting by gathering pay stubs, bank statements, all the supporting documentation that goes along with your application for the mortgage to prove that you can afford to buy this house. So the underwriter is the second level of review for those documents that will ultimately approve or not your loan. That's what it means for me.
Yeah, and it's similar for me because when we're buying a home or selling a home and somebody's using a loan, underwriters hold the keys. Bad real estate pun.
We're not on the dad joke section yet.
I know, right? No, they're in charge. They have this special phrase, this 3-word phrase called clear to close. And if they don't say it, nothing happens.
Yeah, those are magic words in our industry.
Yeah, so on my end, and this is kind of a scary thing, is that underwriting really doesn't take place until after the policy is already bound. It is the most stressful part of my job. So after they close on the house or they purchase a new house and get a new policy, the company sends out an inspector. The inspector does an external inspection or oftentimes an internal inspection, depending on the home. Underwriting reviews it, and then all of a sudden you get underwriting memos. And then if you don't respond to those underwriting memos, you get cancellation notices. So the home buyer thinks that they are clear and they are not. But our job is to try to mitigate that as much as possible. I do a lot of pre-underwriting because I'm getting used to what they're looking for, but they always find something. They're like, hey, that molding over there looks a little weird. So it's stressful. And another thing that people don't realize is that if we were to rewrite you for a better rate, that company has underwriters. So you're never clear of insurance underwriters. They will always find you. A lot like that guy living in someone's yard. Crystal.
So for me, I've got 2 underwriters I have to deal with on every file, if there's a lender anyways, because I have to deal with the lender's underwriter, but then I have to deal with my underwriter. So I sell insurance. That's what my job is. That's what a title agent does. And our underwriter is the one that actually insures the transaction. So they have to approve every single file. So whether it's a cash sale, whether it's got a lender, it's got to be reviewed by other people. I get a lot of leeway and I get to approve a lot of things, but they ultimately make the decision. So they will review title. They're going to make sure that everything's nice and clean. But I feel like everybody's got this Grim Reaper picture of the underwriter. So for me, if I've ever got bad news to deliver, I always say, well, the underwriter said, because I feel like we all kind of already look at them like that. My underwriter is actually pretty cool though. He's more the let's sip bourbon and type of person. And so I'm very blessed with who my underwriter is. So most of our problems we can work through quickly, but it is kind of a doom and gloom job, I think.
See, I didn't think anyone had actually ever seen an underwriter.
They don't. They're like
Not
the
very
people that
often.
change the bowling pins at a bowling alley. You never really see them. They just come out of the woodwork every once in a while. Crystal probably knows when to call her guy, though, depending on what bourbon he's in that week. You're like,
That is
oh,
also
it's
true.
5 o'clock in the afternoon. You know he's going to approve everything.
Or sometimes I'll be like, hey, do you want to meet us over here at the Great Outdoors? And we can sit out on the patio and have a drink and talk about our file. So that always does help too.
You should have
It's
been
who
a
you know.
lawyer.
You just can't sit in the back near the dumpsters. It's no good. They have a great courtyard, but there's one corner of it that has a dumpster near the stage.
Yeah, that one booth. I don't ever sit in that
Uh-huh.
one booth right by it.
Can't
Yeah.
do it. No.
No, it's
You ever
called
go there, reject it.
the Great Dumpsters. Hey, Loyal.
Yeah.
I think I hear a sound. Do you
Oh my
hear that
gosh.
sound?
I do hear that sound, Phil. What's it
could
time for?
possibly be? It is the podcast Wheel of Magical Key Monica.
I really hope it's not me again.
I feel like today's the Kristen day. It should definitely be.
It is 100% the Kristen day, and I'm very, very excited about it.
No.
All right, so I'm going to spin the wheel. Whoever gets landed upon gets to talk about the topic this week. This is completely random. I'm going to click spin.
No! I was like, Crystal, sweet. Oh boy. All right. So today's topic will be on the daily. This will be what do we do day to day? I didn't know this, but apparently there's a rumor going around that I don't do anything because I'm a realtor. I don't know why anyone would think that.
You get to work whenever you want.
My hours are daytime hours, and then they're evening and weekend hours because me, Crystal, Kristen, Phil, this podcast, Alex, we're all working during the day. And then my customers that want to see homes, they're working during the day too. So evenings and weekends. And man, during the day, like 99.9% of the things a realtor does is not look up properties. Like we're doing everything but that. The customer is always going to find the property first because it dings your phone on Zillow 24 hours a day. And if I had that for every customer I had, I would go nuts. So I am emails, phone calls, research on the properties you want to go see. What's their fair market value? How many days has it been on the market? What do I think we could offer for it, depending on its condition? All sorts of things like that. Setting up the appointments and showings. And today was about helping a buyer calm down in this long waiting process before their purchase could be completed. And that just means letting somebody vent. And so, caring for people, phone calls, that sort of thing. That's my on the daily. And then, of course, cashing them checks. But people don't realize, that's the thing. People don't realize all the work a realtor does for free. Like how many times no one will ever end up buying a home, or they'll be like, hey, sorry, I actually decided I'm going to law school and I'll just be renting again. And it's like, okay, there's all sorts of good reasons. But you work a lot and you do a lot of work for free. And then when the payday comes, you take that and divide it by your hours you worked, and you give thanks and you keep going.
Awesome.
For me, it's so my job, I work for a small company. And so there's a lot of blessings for working for a small company. That means I have a little bit more flexibility for my family, and that's why I work for a small company. It also means that I work sometimes 40 hours, or sometimes I work 65 hours. It just varies. They also forget that, one, I'm a human, and I have 91 open files right now.
Wow.
That's just me. 91 files where I'm tracking for everybody, my realtors, my lenders, and obviously the buyers, the sellers. We care about our customers. It's part of living in a small community. You get to know everybody, but you have to remember, there's lots of things. So people expect a response from me within a couple minutes. Well, I can't always do that. I definitely try to, and we definitely try to get back to you within 24 hours at the latest. But sometimes people forget that they're not the only ones. We do care about you like you're the only one, but you're not. And so a little PSA, especially, this is COVID related, and something that I learned this year is people have been put by themselves. They're in solitude. A lot of them haven't seen other individuals. They're online all the time. And so you develop kind of a negative energy around you because you expect something immediately and kind of forget about the human portion of everybody. So you have to remember that you're talking to people still, and also have a little grace for people when they are getting a little bit crotchety, because they might be all by themselves and they haven't been around other people. And the more that I have realized that, I've been able to help our customers a little bit better to just understand where they're coming from. So that's my PSA for the day.
I love that. And I kind of want to piggyback off of that. So a lot of people think that we are a 24/7 concierge service. Our office is open from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. They expect us to be at their beck and call at 11 p.m. at night. So that is one myth that people have. The other myth about insurance agents is that we make a ton of money, and we do not. So I make a base salary and I make a small commission of what each policy that I sell. The other myth too is that it continues to kind of revamp every single time every year it renews. I don't. That's not how my agency's set up. So I write a policy and then I never get commission on that again. So I am not swimming in dough. I am reasonably okay.
Yeah, I mean, gaming chair, hello.
Hey, man, I got this on the sly. It was a Black Friday deal on Amazon.
My son definitely wants it, but he wants his in blue.
I'll send you the link.
Like your headphones, Phil. All these
like my headphones, all these fancy smancy things. And that's kind of the big thing. Like I'm personally not out to get you. I'm sure there's some insurance agents that are, but you kind of can tell them from the very beginning. But it's a lot of work. It's a ton of time invested into quoting, sending those quotes, negotiating those quotes, working with lenders, working with everybody. It never goes away. I like it.
Well, good.
Well, I'll sum it up here. I think, just like you guys said, I mean, basically, we've all got multiple files, multiple transactions happening at any one given time, and at varying stages. I've got some files that are preparing to close, and those need immediate attention. I've got buyers that want to put an offer in on a house, and those need immediate attention. Yeah. I've got people trying to get pre-qualified so they can go look at homes. Those need immediate attention too. And then probably about 300 to 500 emails a day that need a response as well. So I do my very best to juggle everything and then communicate with the three of you and on all files that we've got going together. I think a good reminder though for everyone is none of us get a paycheck until a file closes. So that's always our goal, is get it to the closing table. Do we all agree on that at least?
Yeah, we're not trying to stop you from going to the closing table.
Definitely not. I know I ask for a lot of things from my customers, buyers and refinances too. But I promise every single one of them is for good reason. So
I like it. So I guess we can summarize everything with, hey, we're people too. Be nice to us. Yeah, we have feelings.
True.
Except for underwriters.
Underwriters.
They're like the Undertaker. That's why everyone has that Grim Reaper image, is just,
Yeah.
knife in hand.
I actually envisioned La Chupacabra, the flying goat of Puerto Rico that kills cows in the night.
After it's been underwritten.
Yeah.
Both mythical creatures as well. Both the underwriter and the chupacabra.
Yeah, no one's ever proven that they're real, but no one's ever proven that they're not. Am I right?
I mean, you can say that for a lot of things nowadays.
Like the Loch Ness.
Well, we're going to your favorite section probably ever created. It is now time for dad jokes. And because who's the winner last week?
Crystal was the winner last week. Crystal was the winner last week.
I was kind of funny.
With the amazing hemorrhoid and asteroid joke, if you guys all remember.
Yes,
That I had to explain to my 8-year-old why it was funny. So
Classic.
I told it a few times last week. Yeah.
The gift that keeps on giving.
I can see Loyal going into like giant clumps of people and just telling jokes. Who are like walking around a house like, hey, isn't this great? Look at this breakfast nook. Oh, and by the way, let me tell you this joke about asteroid.
Well, listen, the customer that I just talked to that was venting this morning, I said, hey, look, I'm going to tell you a joke because that's what I want to do right now. I want you to hear one. So here it goes. And I told her the nobody knows joke. She loved it. So jokes are awesome. They're healing. Okay. So here's my dad joke. Crystal, you like to read, don't you?
Yeah.
I thought so. Have you ever read the book, The Yellow River by I.P. Freely? Oh.
I'm sorry.
The Yellow River by I.P. Freely.
Come on, Crystal.
That's
the joke.
I thought it was being
the
serious.
joke.
I'm sorry. It's actually a good joke.
I'm
sorry.
Thank you. Yeah, when you have to
I'm
explain it, but it's whatever. Your daughter needs to know you're hilarious, and that's why it's funny. We all just laughed because you didn't laugh.
It's funny though, Loyal, you bring up books because I was going to tell a joke about paper, but then after your joke, I decided against it because it's terrible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, that was supposed to be fun too?
He gave his joke too.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Okay.
Fun on a fun.
Okay, I'll go next.
Crystal, go ahead. Yeah.
So a mushroom walks into a bar to order a drink, and bartender says, "Sorry, we don't serve your kind." And he says, "Come on, I'm a fun guy."
Oh,
Ba-doom.
I want to piggyback off of that one though. Like, why did the fun guy leave the bar?
Why?
Because there wasn't much room.
Nice.
Pretty good.
Uh-oh.
Pretty good. All right. So I came prepared this week too. Everyone, why can't you hear a psychiatrist use the bathroom?
Why?
Because the P is silent.
Y'all are mean with the slow.
Like that. No. It was a slow burn. I loved it.
Kristen's turn.
One, two. Okay. How do you make holy water? You boil the hell out of it. That's all I got. That was last minute.
Hey, wait,
Good.
I like that. I have to backtrack, you guys, because
We're all telling 3 dad jokes this time.
no, but the book joke comes in a pair. It's a series. So the Yellow River by I.P. Freely, but have you read the book by the famous Japanese author? It's called, the author is Hu Flung Dong. It's The Brown Spot on the Wall by Hu Flung Dong. It's a great book.
God.
Oh my gosh.
Gosh, it's
Turned from dad jokes to toilet jokes real quick. Myself included. I'm part of the problem with my offering this week.
Toilet jokes are dad jokes.
yeah, no, that's true. That's true. I'm gonna this week. It's got to go to Kristen. Kristen, you're brilliant,
That's good.
brilliant delivery, everything.
Every once in a while.
Kristen,
Did
since
you-
it's kind of your day, do you have a PSA for the day on taxes?
Actually, I do. Funny you should mention that. As we are here in the month of February, this is a great time of year for anyone that bought a new primary residence in the state of Florida, at least, to remember to file your homes for homestead exemption. All right. File
Kristen,
your homestead exemption. You, Phil?
Can I tell you a very funny story about this though? So you shot me an email yesterday and you're like, did you file? And I was like, no, I didn't. How do I do that? And so you helped me out. You sent me in a direction where I needed to go. So I emailed the county
Okay.
and I was like, hey folks, I need help with this. I got an email back from the county in all caps. She was like, you need to fill out this application and bring it into the office. And I'm like, all right. So I am going to email Kristen the blank form so she has it. I have it. You can, anyone listening to this, you can email KIRE podcast@gmail.com and we will get you that blank form so the county isn't mad at you in their email.
They're always
Hey,
cranky. Always.
What if her caps lock was just broken?
It's not. They're just cranky. You
Yeah.
can also get it off their website.
It's
Hey,
not
But
good anymore.
Stop
It's not.
yelling at people.
They revamped it.
they do like to yell.
Well,
Alex, can we post all this stuff with our podcast? I'm sure.
Yeah, of course. That was the plan in my head that I hadn't yet shared with you guys.
I
You're
got
such
an
a guru.
announcement. We're now on Spotify and a whole bunch of places, so you can search for the Keepin' It Real Estate Podcast. Ignore the first about 55 that show up, and then you're gonna see ours. But we're also the freshest, so Yeah.
And
smell that
also,
coffee.
if you have any ideas about a new name for us so we're easily found, please email us at KIRE podcast@gmail.com.
The
We-
real
Or
Keepin
if you have any
Podcast.
future topics you want us to cover.
We have to make a new email then. That would be problematic. And I'm already
No, we don't. No, we
just
don't.
keep
They can
just
just
keep the
comment.
one that
Nope,
doesn't make
nope.
any sense.
Correct.
Can't they just leave it in the comments? This
They-
is 2021. Just leave it in the comments.
I need you to post me a letter delivered on horseback for a good idea for a podcast name.
I was
No
gonna-
Gramps.
I was gonna say someone tie it to the a foot of a pigeon and send it to us so we can get you know.
And I do have to say that I feel more comfortable if you listen to the audio version of this so you don't see my face. My mother always said I had a face for radio, and she's right.
Ding ding ding.
Oh.
There we go. Well, hey, so I have a quick question for you guys before we wrap up. So, someone share some good news with me this week. You know, maybe even something just personal, something going on. I know Loyal a couple weeks ago. You know, we were talking about your father and that awesome parade that they had. And was able to get the video for that. So, who's got good news going on in their life right now that they want to share with all of our viewers? I think we're up to like 10 subscribers now on YouTube, something like that.
I think you missed the fact that we work all the time.
There's no
We're
good
getting
news.
rid of that
24/7.
myth that we should have good news. I'm sorry. I'm
Is
getting
it-
angry again about the all caps email from the county.
All right, I got one that is really good news. I am the coach of my 2 9-year-olds basketball league, and it's amazing.
Woo.
Those kids, I really lucked out. They are super good. We're 3-0. And I just like to point out that our head coach, he's excellent. He taught them how to pivot. We're the only team out there pivoting. He taught them how to do a hip dribble. So you're like, you got the ball over here and your arms out. So now you got a blockade and all the other kids are just going to go where your arm tells them to go, and you can steer them to the basket. We're the only ones doing that. And yeah, I think all the praise and honor should go to the head coach. Really proud of him.
That's awesome news. For us, rec sports are back open. So my kids play for their schools, but rec sports are open, and that means my kids are busy. I did get asked to coach volleyball again this year, and I'm probably going to do it because I don't say no to people. It's a problem.
And
But
because it's going to
I'm
be a
very
whole lot of
excited.
fun.
It is.
It's going to
I
be
really
so much
enjoy
fun
it.
too.
Well,
Awesome. Well,
I guess we're all sharing. The Flyers are now 7-2-1 in the season. They're the number 1 in the Eastern Division. And if you're a Bruins fan, email me at KIREpodcast@gmail.com because we're gonna fight.
even though we're gonna
Good
change the
email.
name, still get angry emails.
We're not changing the name. Do you know how many Nirvana bands there were? Only one of them has to be awesome, and it's us.
True.
Hello?
That's what I like to hear that.
I would say
Chris,
if my 13-year-old could find us, adults can find us.
there you go. I think it might be the opposite though. Sometimes the 13-year-olds are a little more technologically advanced than us older folk, right? So, Kristen, you have
Kristen,
any good news?
You're the only one that didn't say anything positive. Come on, we want to hear it.
No, I'm here. I'm gonna. I'm in my boss's office this week, so here. We made it in a magazine. So
Aw.
Oh my goodness. Can you send that to me and frame it?
That's amazing.
But have him sign it first.
Yeah.
What magazine
please.
was that?
that is Gainesville Real Producers. That's
Oh,
that's.
Are y'all
So,
real
didn't you have to do
producing
pictures that
yourself?
day? Are you guys in it too?
You guys who?
You guys, like you.
Yeah.
Is your
my
face in it?
My whole company, all of us, beautiful people. Wow.
You're
Look at that.
famous.
Look at that tall glass of water right in the middle. Gosh,
All right.
you'd make a great wide receiver for an NFL team.
That's what it is. I'm gonna tell him.
In case anyone doesn't know, that her boss is the namesake of Chris Doring Mortgage, named Chris Doring, and he had a very successful career in college
He's
in the
currently
pros.
though currently though a highlight player. Anybody know what highlight is?
That's
Yes.
incredibly dangerous.
Jolly Ollie.
I grew up in Port St. Lucie, and in Fort Pierce, the neighboring town, there's this huge highlight place. So we would be driving, and my dad has this really thick Brooklyn accent. So I'd be like, "Hey, what's that highlight place?" And he'd be like, "Oh, it's highlight. It's like the fastest sport around." Duh. And it was awesome.
It's currently highlight season, and so that means I don't get to see him very much. So he does the season in a 2-week span, and he's busy with that this week. So I'm taking
Is
over.
that in Micanopy, Macintosh over there?
Somewhere? Yeah, there's that big stadium.
I've been.
Have you?
It was
Why?
dollar beer night, dollar hot dog night, and it was fun. I got a whole group of friends. This is like in my former life, way before marriage and everything. And we had so much fun. We didn't go to bet. We came to cheer on the sports, and everybody else was like there to bet. And I'm like, this is athletics. This is high competition here. Appreciate it. None of the teams had a name. I think some of the players were on more than one team, but they're only 2-person teams, so they were like running out. And I was cheering for the baby blue team. And since they didn't have names, and I was loud and rowdy with a couple of dollars worth in, and I was like, "Baby blue, baby blue," and there's only like a net between you and the players. I'm sure they enjoyed it.
And what's really funny about this is that none of them knew how to pivot or hip dribble.
True. They needed your coach.
Oh, that's the good news. That's the good news right there, guys. All right, well, that's right about our 30-minute time limit here, 30-minute time zone. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap it on up. I'm gonna select one of you all at random to take us off this week. So I don't know if you guys can see, but my mouse is swimming around my screen and it is randomly selecting Phil to go ahead and lead us out of this episode. So last soundbite is you, Phil.
Your face. Oh, that was awesome.
Crystal's probably so relieved. It was almost you, Crystal. It was almost you by my random
I'll be prepared
selection
for the
process.
future.
That was totally random.
All right. So to avoid the county sending you an email in all caps, listen to Keepin' It Real Estate Weekly now on YouTube, Facebook, and Spotify. Take it away, Alex.
Like, subscribe, follow, and most importantly, the Facebook page too as well, Phil. Can't forget the Facebook page.
I said where Facebook. We started. I said Facebook. I can't wait until you edit this and realize how silly
realize
you
that
sound.
I missed it. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'll put a dunce cap on my face. and
Stop doing that, Loyal. That is a
Loyal, I don't
sign.
think you understand what that means, Loyal.